From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, good morning, everyone. Looks like we are seeing a bit of a change in our weather pattern here. It's starting off a little wet for some of us, snow in the higher elevations, but really the bulk of it, the heaviest, will be early this morning and then tapering off, especially for the valley this afternoon, but even tapering off for the mountains, just still some scattered flurries out there. Snow levels on average for the rest of the week between 2,000 and 3,000 feet, although they'll be a little bit higher today before they lower again by tomorrow. And also the winds, that's something we need to really take a look at. The winds mainly off in the eastern mountains, Modoc County, for example, but we certainly got to watch those winds here over the next few days. Let's get you through the day today, and mainly the showers this morning in the valley, turning over to partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Siskiyou, Modoc County, looking at isolated snow flurries through the afternoon today. In the eastern mountains, I think you'll see a few flurries here and there, but those chances will be slimmer as we take it through the afternoon. Taking a look at the north coast, we've got the showers and heavy rain at times this morning, and then turning over to some scattered showers. Inland, also the scattered showers throughout the day today. In Trinity County, you could see a little bit of isolated activity here through the afternoon as well. But again, the bulk of all of it, you can see it right here. That's what's moving on through. Behind it, you see these the speckled clouds. That's the colder and unstable air moving in. So that's going to keep the chance for those snow flurries, as I mentioned, as that colder air begins to move in. But really, we're not going to see a lot of widespread rainfall once this main front passes through. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Look at already by noon, it's dry in the valley, and see just the light snow flurries, especially up to the north, but still some scattered showers out towards Del Norte and Humboldt County. We're taking about 6 o'clock this evening. Looks like we're going to see another little push of moisture push through for places like Siskiyou County, which is going to bring more snow down to about 2,500, 3,000 feet. Looks like a few flurries here off to the east in Modoc County, but look at that. I mean, we're clearing things out. I think we're going to see some sunshine here for the valley later this afternoon, and looks like some heavier rainfall, especially out towards Del Norte County later on this evening. Now, we're going to see that push, a kind of more reinforcing push of moisture coming on in here. This is midnight. As we go into tonight and early tomorrow morning. So some decent rain heading down along into Del Norte and Humboldt counties. We're seeing some heavy snow in Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, and kind of pushing eastward. So we could run into maybe, at this point, a few minor issues on Buckhorn Summit. I've got snow levels between 2,000 and 3,000 feet here as we do go into tonight and early tomorrow morning. But you're also seeing the potential for some chain requirements along I-5 as well as we go into the early morning hours. So see how we have this kind of band right here, a heavier band of snow pushing through in the early morning hours tomorrow. That's for Siskiyou and Modoc County. But see the heavier band of snow also making its way into the eastern mountains. So this is when the snow levels will drop down to around 2,000 feet, give or take, depending on where you are. So a lot of the places that are around 2,000 feet, you know your elevation, that's where we're going to be looking at the potential for some snow. So again, 2,000 feet, that's kind of the key number there. So places like Weaverville, Hayfork, you may see at the very least a mix, maybe even a light dusting here, but also looking at the Highway 299 corridor there, looks like mainly in the form of rain, but again, some of those higher passes around Buckhorn Summit, you could be running some problems here for tomorrow morning. Let's take you into the noon hour on Wednesday. It's already beginning to show signs of breaking apart. So the snow, not as heavy, but still the snow flurries out there at noon on Wednesday. Fairly dry for the valley with partly to mostly cloudy skies, but there are those showers we still see along the coast. Now we take you into Wednesday afternoon. That's tomorrow afternoon. You see the snow flurries? Pretty much for all of the mountains. Looks like a little less activity here for Modoc County. Some clearing for the valley, but there you can see again just some of those showers we do have along the coast. Now there may be some leftover moisture for your Thursday, so the coast still seeing that potential for some showers and snow flurries in the mountains, but you'll notice pretty much everywhere else looking at fairly dry conditions here, most likely through the day on Thursday. But there you can see as we go into Thursday, closer to the noon hour, again, still some light activity for the coast. And it tries to push eastward, but really for the most part, it will be dry for everyone east of Del Norte and Humboldt counties on Thursday. Rainfall totals are looking very impressive along the coast here. Not so impressive for the valley. I know some of you had mentioned you'd like to see some downpours in the valley. There may be a brief one, especially with tonight's and early morning system, but overall you can see it's just not going to be a lot of rainfall. I think we'll be lucky to get 1/4 of an inch in some places for the valley, especially the north end of the valley. And you'll notice water content wise, boy oh boy, it is not looking very good. Looking pretty thirsty up there in Alturas and Aden, for example. Winter weather alerts. You know, here's the thing. I can tell you the times. I can tell you all that stuff, right? What this is illustrating is this. Pretty much all of the mountain locations, especially as we go into tonight and tomorrow, have the potential to see some snow and having an impact on your travel and as the storm system begins to pass through. So just be aware of that. Now we look at this forecast snow totals, and you can see upwards of 4 to 8 inches for Mount Shasta City. That might be overdoing it, but probably somewhere within that range. That's also the case for Chester. Looks like a little less in Bernie. Alturas about 2 to 4 inches, and 2 to 4 inches out in Susanville. Now, again, you'll see here less than an inch for places like Weaverville and Hayfork, and I think that's a pretty accurate depiction or prediction that is here for Weaverville and Hayfork. It's not going to be something where the kids can go out and get the sleds out. But yeah, you might see a brief period of some dusting here. But you're kind of going to be looking at that rain-snow mix. It maybe turns over to snow for a brief period of time, then back over to the mix. So it's going to be hard to see that accumulation here. But bottom line, there is going to be some snow here eventually for Weaverville and Hayfork. Of course, it's all in the form of rain for the valley. Now, there's a wind alert, wind advisory until Wednesday morning for last in eastern Plumas County and eastern Modoc County. But I'm just expecting gusty winds in the eastern mountains in general. And I'll show what I'm talking about here. Let's take a look at the forecast here as we take you through even today. I mean, the winds will be gusty at a certain point of the day today, especially midday. They died down here as we go into this evening, but look at this. By Wednesday morning, still some pretty gusty winds out there. I mean, even looking at some strong south winds making their way into the valley here for Wednesday morning. And then it looks like as we go into Wednesday afternoon, the winds should start to show signs of dying down. And minus, it looks like the Warner Mountains, you can see right here, looks like the winds will be weaker or calmer as we go into your Thursday. Here's your long range forecast, and it's going to be dry for the most part on Friday, Saturday. As I mentioned, the European forecast model is still showing signs of the potential for some wet weather for some of the northern mountains and the coast on Thursday and Friday. But this model has been fairly consistent with dry conditions on Thursday, Friday, and consistent with the fact that we do have more rain entering the picture here for your Saturday. Snow levels may be somewhere around 3,000, 3,500 feet on Saturday. Now we're going to take you on into your Sunday. This upcoming weekend, it's looking fairly dry, and it's also looking fairly dry as we go into early next week as well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week looks like dry conditions. Now, when we look at the long range here for January 15th, so as we go to the mid to latter parts of this month, we're seeing the potential for some wet weather, but it's not very much. In fact, looks like better chances of seeing below normal rainfall heading down into Southern California. Now, look at the temperature trend. This is a big change from what we've been seeing for quite some time. We're getting back to the potential of warmer than normal conditions. In fact, I want to show you one of the long-range forecast models here. For the rest of this week, we're going to see a couple of systems pass through, and then this warmer air begins to move in for next week. So that's the warming trend that we do have. Starting around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we start to see this ridge of high pressure build in. Not only will it warm our temperatures back up a bit, but it'll, for the most part, keep us fairly dry as well. You just won't see much in the way of rain. All right, let's switch gears. Take a look at your wave heights today. Of course, they are going to be an issue, upwards of 20 feet in some areas. And then as we go into Wednesday, they may drop a little bit here, but still fairly high wave heights even going into tomorrow. Your marine forecast for today, west winds at about 10 to 20 knots, waves from the west at 12 feet at 11 seconds, and from the northwest at 4 feet at 16 seconds. There is that small correct advisory through this afternoon. Here is your neighborhood by neighborhood forecast looking at Trinity County. 3,000 feet today, 2,000 feet tomorrow. Dry on Thursday, maybe a chance on Friday. And I've got 3,500 foot snow levels on Saturday, before we see things dry out by the end of the weekend and early next week. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, off and on chances for rain pretty much through Saturday, although the best chances will be today, tomorrow, and then once again on Saturday. Let's take a look at as we head northward, about 52 degrees today in Crescent City, Trinidad about 55, McKinleyville topping out at 54 degrees. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, snow levels about the same, 3,000 today, 2,000 feet tomorrow, and then dry for your Thursday. Now there's a slight chance on Friday, but I think better chances for that rain and snow coming in by the time we get into Saturday. Let's take a look at your forecast in Modoc County. Same time frame with that chance for rain and snow. It does look like it's going to be another cold day out there today. Low to mid 30s for your daytime highs. All right, let's take a look at your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. And there you can see temperatures upper 30s to low 40s on average. Also looking at dry conditions for Thursday, Friday, and then by the time we do get into Saturday, we've got another round of rain, snow down to about 3,500 feet, drying out for Sunday and Monday. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Historic Haas Farms. We do have the morning showers today, another round of morning showers on Wednesday. Could be heavier in the morning, by the way, Wednesday morning, but by Wednesday afternoon it dries out. Should stay dry for Thursday, Friday. And then there you can see as we go into the weekend, at least the second half of the weekend should be dry. Temperatures today, a lot like yesterday, maybe not, maybe just slightly cooler, but about 51 degrees for Redding, 51 for Anderson, 45 for Lakehead and Whiskeytown, a high of about 46 degrees today. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. And there you can see, of course, the morning showers today and tomorrow. As I mentioned, I think the heaviest rainfall in the valley is the potential, especially the north end of the valley around Redding and Anderson, for example, is where I think we'll see the heavier rainfall tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning, turning over to scattered showers in the mid-morning hours, drying out Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, Friday, it's dry again, and more showers Saturday, dry for the second half of your weekend and to your Martin Luther King Jr. Day.